Hey, Ronan, thank you. Just getting ready for the race. It's in about 20 minutes, half an hour. Well, thank you for the follow. There's so many things to set up, uh, especially when you're streaming. Like working out what the course is. Let me find that. Wonder. Hmm. That means I've got 50 followers on Twitch now. That's amazing. All right, let's get into a live event. Hmm. Hmm. No.
With Jason Osborne when we interviewed him as part and parcel of Inside the Race during the MyWhoosh Championships, where we asked him what type of course would be needed for the riders to beat him, and this was the type of response he gave. This type of course was the course where if a rider wanted to beat Jason Osborne, it was their best shot. So has anybody got their best shot lined up today? Have those teams had a conversation, and are they going to execute some phenomenal play in Cat 1? My eyes are tuned to the screen to find out, and it's going to be really interesting.
Don't forget, you can join us here all the way through, week in, week out on the Sunday Race Club. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube as well as on social media. It's at MyWhoosh on social media, on the Instagram and on Facebook. Now, let's turn to the men's race, Emma. We've got some really exciting racing coming up for the men. In terms of riders last week, is there similarity?
Well, do you know, it's going to be interesting because last week, Jason Osborne took the win from Ollie Jones by 30 seconds. Ollie Jones was 34 seconds ahead of Van Elst in third. Oh, yeah. We've seen the Jones-Osborne double for a long time now. I'm looking for someone to get in there, someone else to appear, and this could be the course today. In the other categories, it is going to be close racing. Sprint fest is my word of the day.
Oh, well, we will have to see if it is a sprint fest. You'll have to get yourself to the 60.1k marker with us. Join us as we head into the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club qualifier, race number 4. So it is qualifier race 4 in August. The MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club coming to you 52 weeks of the year, year in, year out, bringing you the racing. Every rider tested and verified, each performance checked, and of course, big prizes. And MyWhoosh, the only platform paying out these prizes week in, week out, well, any time of the year as well. And to get hold of those prizes, our riders today in the men's race are competing in the racing in Arabia on the Al Wathba course. And Emma, this is... I always think of the profile a bit like a heart rate trace. The bouncier it is, the harder the racing will be. But that's not strictly true, is it?
No, because if anybody is eagle-eyed, that's 50 metres on the side there, on the left. That's what the, well, I was going to say that's what the biggest climb is, but it's not. The biggest climb is 46 metres here today, and that's the categorised Leeward climb. We do that twice, once at the 8-kilometre marker, once at the 50.34 kilometre marker. Those are the two climbs that make up the climbing competition today. Short, sharp and steep. We've got 3 sprints today, but as you'll notice, the first one of those at the 18.1k, the Bahrain sprint, you've got to get up and over that climb first. I think the groups are going to get smaller today as the race progresses, but I still think we're going to have big packs at the finish, and this could be, I say could be because this is about choices. This is about choices as to how the teams, the individual riders and the categories race today. We could see some steady transitions and some fast finales, or we could see lots and lots of attacks go. Keep your eyes peeled for that 20 to 25 kilometre marker because there's a bit of headwind out there, but there's a lot of climbs in succession, and that's where I think most of the attacks, if not on the leeward climb, that's where it'll happen.
And the sidewind today is predominantly the key thing here. There's 56% sidewind, 18% tailwind, 24% headwind in total. It basically means that positioning left to right hand side of the bunch going into the finish particularly is going to be key, because from 55k to 60k it's a side wind, so you need to be on the right side of the bunch. It's not just being behind a rider, it's to one side as well, isn't it?
It's a side wind. You need to be on the right side of the bunch. I love that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we are down with the start lists. 392 riders on the start sheets today. 70 of those in Category 6.
Thomas Garver taking the win in Category 6 last week. He also took the climbs competition. The sprint win went to Ola Warren in Category 6 last time around. We'll see who is going to take that out today. Let's move from Category 6 to Category 5, where our sprint winner was Joel Warren.
Yes.
Joel Warren took the sprint. The mountains competition was Igor Milic, and the overall win went to Milic as well.
Well, interesting for Joel Warren, because Ola Warren has moved up to Category 5 today. So keep your eyes out for the 1-2 in the Warren family, but a number of other riders moving up into Category 5. The entire top 4 from last week in Category 6 head on up. Milic, who took the win in Category 5, moves up to Category 4 and joins the 76 riders on the start sheets today.
And the win going to Arthur Corbani, great ride by him to take that individual winning category for the mountains competition, going to Jakob Bitko, and the sprint win also going to Jakob. So taking the sprint and the climbs competition in category 4.
And Corbani and Abitko both moving up to category 3 on the back of those performances last week. 65 riders in category 3, and it was Pony from Van Urk last week, Holweiler, Bjarhead and Walter and Holweiler moving up. It's going to be interesting to see how they go.
The mountains competition going to Rick Van Urk, and that sprint win going to Radoslaw Bukawecki in category 3. In category 2, the sprints went to Phil Graves, the mountain competition to Harvard Gednes, and the individual win also going to Gednes, but really dominated by the break last week.
Yeah, it was. And the break often established by Christopher Morgan. He's in category 2 this week, so he's come up from category 3, breakaway master from cat 3. Holweiler, Bergen, Elos, Oviedo and Walter all progressing to cat 2. It's a huge race field with 76 riders. Category 1, however, 44 riders and some new riders moving on up.
So riders moving on up, but it was business as usual in terms of the climbs competition and the individual win, with Jason Osborne taking that sprint win going to Pavel Skirski. Osborne's win, though, 30 seconds in total, so not necessarily as big as we would have expected. Let's see what happens today. Our first riders are off. They're away from the pens. Category 6 underway, 2.5 minutes between each of our race fields, so 2.5 minutes between category 6 race start before we go to category 5 race start, then a further 2.5 minutes to category 4 race start. You get the gist. That will take us right the way through to category 1. Let's talk about category 6 first of all, though. We've gone through sort of the headline winners. What really has impressed me in category 6 last week is, in terms of all-time PBs, personal bests, riders like Robert Gouda got a personal best average watts, his personal best 20 minutes watts, his personal best minute watts, his personal best 5-second watts, and his best heart rate ever. It shows you just how hard you have to work to be right at the front of category 6. It's so competitive.
It is, but at the moment, it's an interesting race. And you can see Alex Lark on our screens at the moment, nicely towards the front third of the group here. And just taking a little look at the pack, and wide across the road still, a lot of riders in this group. Nice push out of the front, but Atruba, Santos, Lark, Bertrand, Kurderon, all towards front. So is Sebsa as well. So
you'll see me at some point
rider in the level racing kit. He too is in the mix. Big group, not as stretched as normal. Luke Allport 30 seconds, not on the front, all porting his way towards the first sprint checkpoint, because that first sprint checkpoint not until the 18.1 kilometre marker different type of racing, different course and segments.
Definitely, and I think that's the key thing here, isn't it? It's about who goes well on repeated kicks. There is a lot of flat here as well, and this is one of the contrasts between the women's and the men's race. I think the women's race, we had two big climbs, but it was bumpy all the way in between. Here, riders like Magnus Vigland, who's on our screens at the moment, have to get the dial just riding at half a percentage. Yeah, make sure that you sit in the wheels, conserve that energy. And I think for me, that's really the key skill here that they're going to have to exhibit. It's about not using too much energy. We'll see if Magnus can repeat his top 10. Let's see who's going to be top 10 in category 5. They're our next set of riders. They're leaving the pens as we speak, heading out on to race route.
I'm unsure
category
if I'm 5.
It was a very different race last week,
man.
In terms of
since
how
I moved to more
it went
Twitch,
and where it went hard. William Bramatti, a rider who really impressed, again getting lots of personal best in the last, best day in the last 90 days. But is it a course for a sprinter today or a great all-round rider rather than a climber? I think so. We'll have to see. Just in with Mohammed Mukhtari at the moment. Good to see you, sir. Another morning, another Sunday morning, another day we see Mohammed Mukhtari. Some of our
the way the qualifications work, all you have to do is finish the race.
Well, they are members of the family. Members
you have to do 2 qualifications in a month.
One of those in the
and then you can be on a team in the final, which is next week.
Group.
So if I don't do today, I can race next week.
The category 5 group
no option of being
and
on a team.
away. Who will be taking away the race win? We'll need to find out. It's going to be really interesting to see how David Barbalo goes on, having moved up and just found Ola Warren, as Emma has said, definitely a rider to keep an eye on as we go through. And Marius Fossier back with us once again.
But you never know what the legs are like.
Of the best studios ever. Think less, pedal more. Love it on the background there. Go for the sprints. We'll see how he goes. I love the fact that Marius there, just patting the side there.
I'll tell you something, Marius will want to tune in next week to the Inside the Race podcast when it's released, because Simon Llewellyn is on his top poster. One of the BMC squad, the BMC team, Simon Llewellyn is going to be on the podcast next week.
He is indeed inside the race. Follow it at MyWhoosh Racing on social media. Go to www.mywhooshracing.com. And don't forget, we want to see your last 500. So, Joel, get a video of you in your pancake for the last 500 metres of your race today and get it sent in. You can do that on the form that's on there. Thank you, everybody who sent them in so far. Don't think that we will ever have enough of them.
I love it that Joel Lipinharsky is still in his warm-up jersey.
Oh, I think it's a really good move.
Yes. Down in the pen, there may still be some warm-up jerseys on. I imagine there's some riders just taking them off. We're in with Jonas Goman at the moment, and go is the green on the screen, and away go category 4. They're up, they're out. Sunday Race Club qualifier 4 for August is away.
Now, this, for me, category 4, I always find, I think it's one of those categories really hard to call.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I say that is because it's become one of the categories where you get a lot of transition up and down into it. But you also, I think, there's a riders, the course that suits riders tends to be the course they go well on, and it seems to have more of an impact than other categories. Some of the other categories, it's the same, doesn't matter whether it's mountains or it's flat. Here, I think courses that suit riders in category 4 tends to be quite deciding factors, one of the deciding factors. Then on our screens at the moment, we're seeing just out of the saddle, we're going to see how he goes today on today's race. Maybe would have been looking for a little bit more climbs, but there are plenty of ascents where you can make a difference if you get a chance. If you haven't already had your legs burnt out, chasing down moves on the front. Graziani and Rusumaki on the front with a couple of seconds back. We're just in with Mika Rusumaki at the moment, part of our Finnish contingent. The rider around in the Northern European hemisphere at the moment. Out of the saddle, just kicking down on those pedals. You can just see the power coming out, nearly 400 watts from Mika at the moment, as these two keep the pace high. Nick Scolari just tucked into the bunch. The mathematician himself is in the group. definitely a rider to watch, I think, on today's course. Squilari,
Yes.
I think, I don't want to give away his tactics. Actually, I'm not going to say.
No, don't
I'm not going to say. I'll let you know at the end if what I think Nick's tactics today happened.
Okay,
did.
well, we shall wait and see. Ricky Kiddle in the mix as well. Great to see Ricky Kiddle back here, but you can see the push on the front of the Category 4 race at the moment. 2 riders down the road, 2 riders chasing.
Funny that Rick Van Erck
is
is
the
in
rider
Category
pushing
3.
on to close down the gap. The riders here, this is the first time in
I
the
have
starts that
dropped
we've seen
0
riders
frames
push
since
out
I've
of the
been
pen and
streaming.
really try to go early for the
I don't know
break.
whether it's good or bad.
Really interesting move because there is that short climb just out of the pen.
Yep, that little rise and fall, enough to trigger a difference. It looks massive on the course profile, but it's literally a few meters high because of the scale of the course profile itself. The highest ascent, 25 meters above our start level. The lowest descent, about 40 meters below the start level. There's very little height difference today, and there are a lot of flat sections on here, the finish not being one of them. It's a gradual long 5k drag to the finish. But in with Sebastian Castellano as the riders leave the Pens. Big group of riders here in Category 3. And a big thank you now, about to pop in a comment up onto the live chat as well. Much appreciated. We do try and keep a check on that as well throughout the course of the day. So thanks everybody who comments on there.
We do. Rick Van Erck on your screens at the moment, part and parcel of this Category 3 pack, pushing out of the pen. Niall Batty, Raphael Butcher, Christian Gostek is here as well. The Category 3 pack, I mean, it's a good-sized group, but it is not one of the largest. But we've got Patrick Bloom, Arthur Corbani, Nikolai Bullo coming up into the group. Jakob Bitko comes up as well from Category 4. So some class riders on the move up into Category 3. I tell you, it's a good course if you are being lifted a category this week.
Oh, I don't necessarily. For most riders, yes. For Arthur Corbani, no.
Because Arthur, Corbani is a climber.
He's a great climber. He's a youngster. So when you're a younger lighter rider, yes, you've got lots of kicking, you've got lots of super acceleration, but you tend to be lighter. You tend to be better on a climb. And I think when this is a course that suits power. Power.
Yeah, I was just saying that I haven't dropped any frames on
power, but it is more power. That's what you want, the power.
Cranking up the engine.
It is, you know, you want your V12, not your little 4-cylinder.
From the
start, that's your dusty. You want your V12,
climb,
you know, big,
and there's another little kick at
big
the top
Ferrari here because
climb,
it's fast. It's literally it's about putting the power down and getting the speed. I mean, we're doing 36k an hour at the moment. These riders are in zone 2-3.
I tell you, one of the riders to watch out for today. I've just seen Olivier Simmons in this group.
Yes,
he's a rider to keep your eyes on.
Well, 60K.
Big style. He's got a great turn of speed and he is strong. Well, Todd Allenjung is the rider we are in with in Category 2 as the lights go green and the pack leave the pen wide across the road. Allenjung with Santo, Oviedo, Notes, Sinclair, Yannicki, Langevin. Oh, Langevin may well love the race today, but it's Nicolas Fournier, the Frenchman, who's dialing it on the front. And I told you to keep your eyes on Christopher Morgan.
Yeah, he's come. It's like, I've gone up category. I don't care. Let's
Same
go
tactic.
for it. Let's go for it. Well, and again, the other thing is when you go up a category, you don't know how they go out of the pen. You don't know what was a.
Well, if you've done your homework, you do.
Well, yes, but it's one thing doing the homework and seeing the numbers. It's another thing racing the numbers. It's and actually being subjected to that. And I think Morgan was always going to err on the side of caution because he knows he's got that kick off the line. He's always got the power off the line. One rider I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they go today. Nick van der Leeke, if he's made our start line, moving down Category 2, he's a rider who knows exactly how to hide out the wind. Probably as much as Todd Allenjung, because Allenjung, very experienced rider here on MyWhoosh.
Yeah, he is, and just noticing a number of other riders in the mix as well. So we have new riders to the Sunday Race Club 2 today.
And Todd Allenjung, I've just seen it. This is his 100th participation on the Sunday Race Club. Happy century, Mr. Allenjung. 100 participations on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club.
It doesn't get
Congratulations,
easier
Todd.
either. Look at this.
It just gets
Absolutely.
quicker.
They are indeed making it quick. And Remy Confession right on the front. But we'll keep our eyes peeled when we go back to that Category 2 race, because we do have new riders and some class Swedish new riders who I see racing the Swedish Nationals. And doing a great job there as well.
Indeed. Todd Allen Young on 100. And I think next week, potentially, Mohammed Mukhtari. One man who's a regular on our screens, it is Luke Allport, the rider on your screens in person. We've gone to Luke on the climb, which is always the best place to go to a rider to see just how hard they're working. And
punching up this one.
Yeah, he's got the power down here. Wojciech Sebsa, the rider on the front, one of our most sartorially elegant riders and on-brand riders on the climb. But on the right-hand side of your screen, Category 1, about to leave the pens as Sebsa is in number 1 spot on the road. Category 1 leave the pens with Michael Plantero at the moment as they come out of the pens and turn on to this link road. It will take them to the course proper. You can see at the moment, though, that group are pretty much together. Sebsa on the climb. Look at Jürgen Sommerer go. He's got a great sprint. He's using it here. He's going to score the first of our climb points here on the leeward climb. Jürgen Sommerer, he's even got the time to throw the emotes out as well. So Sommerer taking away maximum points on that climb. What a great ride by him to go over the top there. I thought that Sebsa was going to potentially be in with that, but no, absolutely not. Sommerer, Vikland, both going over the top there of Sebsa. Sebsa inside the top 5. So it is Sommerer, Vikland, Sebsa, Lasno, and Kedrian, the riders who have gone through, taking 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points. Today's climbs, both Category 4 point climbs, so both have that 5 to 1 points allocation. As in Category 1, it looks like somebody has decided, do you know what? Let's make it hard today. It's Johan Noren off the front of the group at 6.5 watts per kilo. And behind, I think there's a little bit of debate. Who's going to do the chasing? Do we really think Johan Noren is going to take it to the finish? How hard do we want to go? And it's the world champion, Jason Osborne, at 10 watts per kilo that's provoked the response from the rest behind. 10, 12 watts per kilo going down. And this is where the rest of the group has to react.
They do, or else the race is over, because Osborne is down the road and Johan Noren is no slouch at all. He really is a fast rider and a punchy rider as well. But Osborne, Pedersen, Panizza, Andres, and Ricardo Panizza on our screen at the moment in the MyWhoosh Championships jersey from 2025, retro now. Kaminski is pushing on, so is Don. Kaminski's in the Alpha Jaw jersey. Nice kit. Ruben Don chasing as well. The group all coming back together. One rider just off the back. This is an introduction to Category 1 in the fastest way possible. And I'll tell you something, they've not caught Johan Noren yet.
I think it is only a matter of time when you've got Osborne on the offensive, because everybody will react. Everybody will want to be in position. They are losing riders behind. You are starting to see riders being distanced. Favero, Mountier and Hanley on your screens. They're not in Category 1 yet. They're in Category 5. Ola Warren, the rider on the front with the gap. Favero, look, hard up in front of him. He knows that Warren is just in front for the points. He's going to bury himself to the line. He's not going to make the junction. Warren's going to get maximum points. Right. Favero is going to be in second place. Mukhtari is right in the mix with Duda and Mountier there. So interesting. James Mountier, definitely a rider to watch out for, I think, on this course.
Hanley in the polka dots as well.
Yeah. Is that a statement of intent or what?
Well, it was absolutely eyeballs out, wasn't it? It was to that point, and Ola Warren picking up in Category 5. Those 5 points. Maxime Favero picking up, Spasuda picking up 3, James Mountier picking up 2, and Joachim Skretting picking up 1. Mukhtari in 6th. Hanley in real life polka dots in 10th. That was seriously fast. 46 riders in contention in Cat 5 at that point. In Cat 6, when they came to the top of that climb, it was a little different. 31 riders clear.
And the time to the line almost identical for Ola Warren
About
as Jürgen
5.6
Summerer was when he hit that
parts a
line
kilo
as well. Virtually
for the
nothing
first 5
between
minutes.
0.1 of a second separating their times.
Well, it tells a story as to why
It
the
does.
Cat 6 race is so split up already.
Yep, it does indeed. Now, Category 5 may not be quite as fractured as Category 6, but it's heading that way. You can see we have Hammer off the front at the moment. He's our lone leader.
Good on
Giuliano
measure.
with a
He'll be
2-second gap
passing me
back to
soon.
Reimers, to Pino, Goman, Arilla, Sario. Those are the
Gonna
riders
catch him.
chasing, but Hammer is surely going to take this. Now, this is his for the taking. Giuliano is behind looking to pick up points, but Rasmus Hammer at the moment absolutely nailing it.
Yeah, he is indeed. A big push.
James.
And Ryan Giuliano really coming
Got the
in
climb coming
too.
up
But
soon.
Catabona picking up.
Starts at 8
Francis Pino
kilometres
putting in a final
after that
sprint
descent.
effort there to go over the top of Catabona and pick up the points. And I think maybe that was Golden Boy himself, Eric Rinborg, picking up the final point today.
Pino is a rider to watch. He has a fantastic sprint on him. He's got a great explosive sprint. He used it there. Hammer taking the 5 points, Giuliano taking the 4, Pino leading the bunch through, Catabona behind him, and then Rimborg coming in and through. Hammer, though, not yet taking a win on the Sunday Race Club. It's today the day he does that. He's got a second place. He's taken a sprint, 2 sprint jerseys and a climbs competition already. It could be the day that he takes his victory here.
Well, Category 1, we are dropping back in with at the 4.2 kilometre marker. Stefan van Elst chasing Ricardo Panizza as Panizza pushes on the front. Van Elst having a great race last week, taking 3rd place. So he had a really strong ride. But Panizza at the moment is the rider pushing on here. It's split the Category 1 pack. You can see as they come up onto this bridge at the moment, there is a tail on this leading group. But further back down the road, there's a group of 3 or 4 riders already. The world champion Jason Osborne comes up onto the side of Van Elst. Van Elst, of course, Jason Osborne's teammate. So interesting times on the front of Cat 1.
Indeed, and those teams working together to try and get as many of their riders into the prize. You remember top 10 riders individually through the qualifiers in terms of the overall. The winners of the climbs and the sprints competition, and the riders who take the first spot at each of our checkpoints are those riders that are awarded with prizes in qualifiers. Next week in the finals, the top 7 teams in each race category also receiving prize money. 3 riders times to count, your fastest 3 riders times added together. You've got to have 3 riders finishing the race to count. You can put up to 5 riders down onto the start line. In with Category 3, who will be battling for those team prizes as well as the individual prizes. Mikel Jacquila, who we know can sprint up against Olivier Simmons. Simmons coming at 11.5 watts per kilo. He's not going to close down Jacquila. We've seen Jacquila put in some fantastic sprint performances in the MyWhoosh Championships. Have a watch back to that if you haven't done already. It's some great racing
I
in
tell
there.
you, the real big danger here is actually that a group goes away in Cat 3, because this is one of the biggest stretches I've seen on the groups coming through at this point. If we take sort of around 8 seconds as the marker, there's 19 riders within 8 seconds of Jacquila going through that checkpoint. And Jacquila taking the 5 points from Simmons, who takes 4. Van Aert coming through for 3 points. Then it's Marquez for 2, and Patrick Bloom picking up the 1 point. I think the bells should be ringing in Cat 3.
They should, and the bell's going to ring today, because today is, we talked about centuries earlier, today it is a double century for SS. This is his 200th MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. He joins a very select group. There are only 5 riders who have raced the 200 Sunday Race Clubs. Phil Graves, Mr. X100, Catherine Fuhr, Michael Knudsen, and they have been joined by SS today. That means that they have done 200 Sunday Race Clubs, just shy of 4 years of racing on the platform. Our next nearest rider, and it is going to be in about another 4 races' time, it is Doncy Gonzalez-Ruhr.
Yes.
She will be joining those riders when she reaches that double century mark.
Well, pleased to see Mark Smith come to the front of the pack. And Mark Smith, the rider from the USA, new to the Sunday Race Club. It was his first Sunday Race Club last week. Joined for the MyWhoosh Championships. Great performances from him, and really good to have him on board on Sundays.
It is indeed. Now in with the Category 2 leaders. We're just in with Josiah Betty, who's right up on the front, but Angus Halley now kicks on at 10 watts per kilo. I think he's looking for that prize checkpoint. It's around this left-hand turn. You can see that archway, the red dots on the white background indicating it's a climate banner. Predominantly the rider chasing behind, but it's Halley, I think, who's got this clear from the front. It's Halley, then lead notes, Kaplinski and Fournier, although Fournier may have got pipped by Alan Young just going underneath that banner. And these riders at the front of what is a big group of Category 2 riders. There are one or two riders distance behind, but I think there are less mini groups behind, and it's mostly a big peloton.
Yeah, so Halle picking up the 5 points, Lee, Notes, Kaplinski and Alan Jung rounding that out. And 3 riders at the moment just clear of the pack. Puilam Lee, it's his 4th Sunday Race Club. You were talking about riders at 200.
Wow.
He's at 4.
Yeah.
Best place at the moment, he's finished in 16th in Cat 2. That's his best performance in the 3 rides he's had.
What a great way to start racing.
It's great, isn't it?
It is, and I think for me, it's one of those great things, isn't it? When you try something new, it's all new, it's all different. You're just learning so much. And I think when you combine that with the immersive experience that is racing on cycling esports, where you've got the data, you've got the riders, the avatars, you're putting that performance in it. I think for me, it really is. It's a great place to be. And I think in some ways it's also replicated when you come back into racing again in cycling esports.
Yes. Now, Jones, Vujasin and Kaminsky, 3 riders from the Alpha Dual Space Cowboys on your screen at the moment, and joined by Saeed Safradadi, who's having a phenomenal month at the moment. And he has been in the top 5 twice out of the 3 qualifiers, at a 2nd place and a 4th place. He's having a really, really good month. And at the moment, he's in the mix here. Jason Osborne, the world champion, now goes on to the front of the pack, just taking up the mantle from Bjorn Andres. And Ruben Donsky is chasing. Van Els now really picks the pace up. And so does SS from behind. Skierski and Plantero in the mix as well. They're all heading towards the polka dot banner the first time at the top of the Lima climb. Osborne's going to go underneath in 4 seconds here of the bunch. Andreasen is chasing, and so is SS.
So they're going to be picking up the minor points as well as Don and Jackson. I think it's going to be in Category 1. A quick reminder for you: each time we do a sprint or a climb, they are added together into the sprint class competition as relevant to give us the overall winner. The climb's leader wearing a polka skin suit, the sprint leader winner taking away a green skin suit. Category 1, of course, with those yellow jerseys on, looking to take the yellow skin suit across the line at the finish. We'll see that briefly, because most riders will be very quickly into their warm down before they then are already looking ahead. Category 1 at the moment, pressure is on, and that's going on to the 2nd kick now. We go up it this time around at the leeward climb. We don't do this. We take a left-hand turn, actually, as we come up on the 2nd leeward climb. So you don't go over the 2nd section as we go around next time around. But this is steep. But at the moment, Osborne has decided, well, if this is the best time to call me on, because it goes straight first. Let's go on the attack early on the climb and get the gap.
Well, Roger Goosen, one of the new riders of the Sunday Race Club, when I say he's new, he's coming to Category 1 and he's had some really great racing. It's been fabulous. Good to see him on our screens at the moment.
It is a really strong rider. He put out some great all-time best power last week. He had his best 5-minute and 1-minute power on the platform. 5-minute power, 429 minutes. 1-minute power, 572 watts. Clearly a rider on ascendancy.
Yeah, and his best race performance in Cat 1 of the 3 races that he's done is 13th, so right into the top 15. 3 Sunday Race Club performances. He's been on the MyWhoosh platform since July this year. It's fabulous to have new riders on board, and new riders in every single category. And if you're one of the new riders thinking about joining us, jump on board, because it is great fun to have you, and you will get fabulous racing week in, week out. Well, Jürgen Summeren is on the right-hand side of your screen, pushing on again, and this time he's pushing on for the green sprint banner. The polka dots, well, that's not enough. We want 2 jerseys today, if not 3.
Definitely, you can see Magnus Vickland in pursuit. He's chasing Alex Lark, but they're not going to pull back Summerer. Summerer, who's taken 2 sprint jerseys in his 5 participations so far. And it's looking like he's setting out to add another one to his total, but they've got to get right the way through. Remember, these riders at the moment on the first of our sprints, that's the Bahrain sprint at 18 kilometres. The Sheikh Zayed Mosque sprint is at 27k, and 35k in our last sprint, the Museum of the Future sprint.
Yes, and Vickland there just showing you how hard you had to work for second place. Summerun takes 5 points, Vickland takes 4, Lark takes 3, Lasno takes 2, and Santos takes 1 point. They're going to drop down now into the base here of this dip. They're then going to climb out, and that triumphant of climbs facing them, the short, sharp peaks, before they go through the second sprint, the 27.5 kilometre marker. You've got to have great legs to get to sprint 2 and 3 today. And take a look at this. We have a small group forming at the front of Cat 6. 22 riders, I think, are going to be in contention.
Yes, there were 31 in contention at the top of the leeward climb in Category 6, and that has well and truly been brought down at the Bahrain sprint to 22, so only 2/3 of the riders left in contention at that point. And remember, of course, this is all about battling to the finish. Great to see the response. Now, Mistakes 100 SS and a number of riders have moved up. Ivan Yuki, another rider, up into Category 1. There's more volume of riders in Category 1. That means there's more people able to take up the chase of Jason Osborne. And I think this is really changing the racing. There's people prepared to have a dig. If you're Jason Osborne versus 4 people, or 10 people, or 20 people, it's different to Jason Osborne versus 35 people. It's very different.
There's also more draft, there's more dynamics, there's more everything. And at the moment, we're watching Antonin go underneath the banner ahead of Joel Warren for the first sprint in Category 5. They're clear of the group. But when I say the group, they're clear of a small group who are clear of the big group. Category 5 has really split here on this Al Wathba course, and we're only at the 18 kilometre marker. Let's just remind ourselves, this is a 60.1 kilometre race, and Vela-Pekka Antonin picks up the 5 points, Joel Warren picks up 4, Marius Fossey coming through for 3, James Mountier for 2, Joachim Skretting for 1. And in that Category 5 race, are we looking at 6, 7, 8 riders clear of a group of 20?
And they need to keep pushing. I think it's a really tough little section. You come up the Leeward Desert to the checkpoint on the Leeward Desert climb. You then got the second part of the Leeward Desert climb that's included in terms of ascent today. You drop off that. You've then got repeated bumps down to the Bahrain sprint where we're seeing our riders go through, and we're seeing Nick Scolari, Francis Pino in Category 4 approach. You then go through that sprint. You also 3 peak line. Talk about before we get to the Sheikh Zayed Mosque sprint, and then we've got a section of flat of road until we start heading into the next set of the leeward climb at 58. Yes, there's bumps on the way, but they're own bumps. At the moment, using that sprint speed, go clear Squilari, Domin Graziani, and Cadiz in Category 4 in the sprint you just seen as they go in over the line. You can see those confirmed on your screen. So it's Pino Squilari, Domin Graziani, and Tobias who score the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points in Bahrain sprint in Category 4. But there is a big group behind at the moment as they come through there.
Yeah, it is. And so from the front to the back of that group, 30 riders at 7 seconds. So I think we're going to see that all come back together again in Category 4. Pino and Squilari, we brought back into the fold.
Let's go for on the even numbers. Category 4 to Category 2. At the moment, the Category 2 riders, a quick reminder for you, 46 riders were together as they came up the leeward climb. It was a little faction at the front, but we've got a big open up now. 3 riders clear. Quilani, Massive Indakowitz, and Remy Confession. The 3 breakaway riders. A triumvirate of talent on the front there.
Surprise, or not. Massive Indakowitz is past the breakaway.
Not definitely. Massive on the move here with Quilani and Remy Confession. 3 very strong riders. And I like this. It would be very easy to go, you know what, let's just sit in until we get to the last climb of leeward climb and then see what we've got left for the drag to finish. But no, they've gone on the attack early, and great to see now. Just dropping in with Rick Van Aert, another rider on the attack. He's got 5 seconds to Mason Rocker behind him. Olivier Simmons is with him. Lewis Ridley's in front. These are for the points in the sprints competition. Ridley's gone through in the lead. He takes maximum points of 5. Simmons is going to take 4. Rick Van Aert on our screen. is going to take 3 points in category 3 for the man in the 3 colours, the tricolour jersey, the red, white, and blue of Netherlands champion. Van Urk now moving to the front of that duo of riders, Simon Van Urk, but Ridley remains up front. He's the rider with the 5 points.
He is
really
indeed,
hard with these
and,
camera angles.
Simmons
as well.
in 4, Van Urk in 3, Rocker in 2, and Marquez in 1. That category 3 race, Lewis Ridley is continuing to push it. Van Urk continuing to drive. So is Simmons. Bucciuecchi and Rocker are there as well. And then it is strung out behind the category 3. So Lewis Ridley doing a phenomenal job there and not letting off the power. It was a 28 rider group going through, but I say a 28 rider group. There was 8 seconds to Ridley, and then from Simmons to the back of that group, well, it was a big stretch. It was around 6 or 7 seconds. So they're reconvening behind with a group of category 4 riders, but Lewis Ridley is just tapping a rhythm on the front now.
Yeah, Ridley's looking, I think, to make the most of this move on the way into the climb. 86 participations.
Part of the course.
Yeah, Ridley knows this course. He knows what this is like when you come in. And I think a man who's taken 5 wins, 3 second places and 2 third places should not be underestimated by any stretch of the imagination. So Ridley on the breakaway in category 3. As we've moved to category 2, you can see our breakaway riders on the left of your screen: Mendakowicz, Confession, and Lee. The chase behind coming from Kaplinski, Machado, Howeiler, and Hulhorst. At the moment, the sprint is on the left of your screen, because those are going to be 5 points that are going to be collected by Maciej Mendakowicz. Lee's going to take 4. The chase is on for 2 and 1 points behind Confession, who took the 3. Machado, I think, is going to be the best of the rest to take those 2 points. But remember, 3 sprint checkpoints, all clustered around the centre of today's race route. Sprint 1 at 18k, Sprint 2 at 27k, Sprint 3 at 35 kilometres.
Yes, and this breakaway of 3 riders, it's a really strong group, you know. Confession spent some time in category 1 before coming down into category 2 in July. He's strong. Lee, one of the new riders in, has been, as we mentioned earlier on, it's his 4th Sunday race club. Well, he's just decided, I'm here, I'm in the mix, I've got Maciej Mendakowicz on the front, let's rumble. Well, at the moment on the front on category 1, it's Mikhail Kaminski, and we're in with him, and he's up and out the saddle, and you can see him pushing and punching here, and he's pushing and punching, but Ruben Dont is giving chase, and so is Pavel Skierski. Van Elst is there as well. He's got, well, still 500 metres till he gets to the banner. Kaminski now tapping the rhythm. He sat back down on that saddle. Dont's going to come up onto his wheel. The rest of the group behind are watching and waiting, but I can see Pedersen winding it up behind. Now Dont unleashes the power at around 11.5 watts per kilo. What has Kaminski got? Kaminski's got to kick. Well, this is just a lead out for Ruben Dont, and Dont goes up and over the top. Fabulous timing from Ruben Dont. He knows what he's doing. Underneath the banner, he's going to put on the green skin suit and pick up the points in the sprint competition. Kaminski's going to go through, however, in 2nd place. So nice work from him.
Yeah, you've got Dont going through, then Kaminski, then Pedersen, Skierski, and Jones. 21 riders together, I think that is.
It is indeed.
At the front of the race.
21 riders in the mix at the front of the race in category 1 right now.
So Ruben Dont with the green jersey, a man who, when we talked to him on the Inside the Race podcast on the MyWhoosh Championships, a rider who said he really was surprised to be known as a sprinter, but we did beg to differ, because he's got 42 sprint jerseys.
He just knows how to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, well, he's got a great kick. He's a good all-round rider.
Yes.
You know, he might be a great climber, but he's also a great sprinter and a great rider. You do, everyone in category 1 is great. There's just no other way to describe it. You are at the very top of the sport.
Pinnacle of your sport.
Well, I mean, I would suggest Jason Osborne is at the pinnacle of the sport, and the rest are trying to ascend to that peak.
Do you mean only one person can stand on the pinnacle?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Ooh.
Pretty much. It's a bit of a balancing act if you try and put 2 or 3 on there.
Do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll think about that one.
Well, I'm going to qualify it actually because I'm going to sort of kind of justify why I think that, and it is because Jason Osborne, and it's the same with Kate McCarthy, are multi-time world champions. They have taken the win in the MyWhoosh Championship. They are dominant on the Sunday Race Club, and they are a step, if not 2 steps ahead of anyone else. So no matter how good everybody else is at the moment, they're 1 or 2 steps behind. So when in terms of getting to the top, they've still got steps to take. Osborne and McCarthy, they are there at the top of that pinnacle, and they have taken those steps.
I mean, I do agree.
Right, let's stop the show there quick. Emma, just agree with me.
Okay, we're done. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been great to be with you today.
We better not. Let's keep cracking on because the riders are keeping the action going. Jason Osborne on the front here. SS on the chase. Osborne's attack. The man who is just talking about being at the top of the spot on the move again. Now, last week, Jason Osborne's winning margin was 30 seconds. We regularly see Jason Osborne 2 minutes to the good on the front of a race. If it goes on a big climb, you're likely to see that. What you've got to bear in mind is that we are seeing more and more variation on routes in terms of the Sunday Race Club. There was a time when we were doing 5, 6 different routes. I'm talking a long time ago, but there was a minimal number of race routes that we were using. That has grown and grown and grown and continues to grow, just like MyWhoosh as a platform is growing. And because we're seeing a myriad of routes, we're seeing more and more riders in contention. It's not just a solo rider who is there. And if there is one rider like McCarthy and Osborne in their respective category 1s, they're really being made to work for it by the rest of the riders because we're seeing different courses and terrains. So if we had the same race distance and the same race route, each and every race, we'd pretty much see the same result. You know, it's the whole thing. Don't change, you know, if you don't change the input, don't expect a different output. And I think that's one of the great things about Sunday Race Club, that whilst it is a point-to-point race, it is different races and different routes with different checkpoints in there, and we see the categories changing. We've gone from 3 to 4 to 6 categories. We are seeing differences in the wind, in the way that the course rides, in terms of the graphics, in terms of how the riders can check out where each other's at. We're seeing more and more information on MyWhoosh info as well. It's constantly evolving, and I think that's one of the things. Cycling esports is an emergent discipline. It's a new discipline. We've had very few world championships. We've had as many world championships, I think, as we've had years on Sunday Race Club. And both competitions are evolving. We're still new.
Well, I do often have a question because how long are you new for?
In terms of a rider or a discipline?
In terms of a discipline. It's like when people start a new job and 6 months later they stand up and say, forgive me, but I'm new here.
You could be the newest for a long, long time.
You can, but you could be the newest, but that's a different categorization than new.
I would say you're new whilst you're new and developing for a lot. You can be new and developing for a long time.
Oh, that's true, actually.
And there is also the argument that should it always be static? We've got Jason Osborne on the move, 9 seconds clear of everybody else at the moment. With Jasin, Stafford Sadie and Co at the moment now settling into what are they going to do? Are they going to chase hard? Is somebody going to pick up the pace? Or are we now resigned to the fact that at the 21K marker, Jason Osborne has gone clear, and you know what? We are not going to chase.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But there are teammates of Jason Osborne in that group, and they will be deliberately trying to manage the group so the group doesn't chase to allow Osborne to get away. He is indeed getting away at the moment because nobody in the group is moving on. You would expect with a group of that size, somebody would pick up the mantle.
I think part of the issue, though, is because the way this race route is structured, it does play towards people picking up the pace in terms of it's flat. There's not that much. It's not like you've got a big mountain, but equally, a sprint effort is so hard that if you know you're going to come down to potentially a sprint at the end of the race, you've got to be careful about how much damage you do to your legs on your way into that sprint by chasing too hard and how much you exhaust the energies. Jason Osborne doesn't need to worry about that.
But what you're ending up with then is riders deliberately riding for second place.
Yep. And I'm going to caveat this. I'm talking really all this last 5 minutes conversation is about category 1 only. Category 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was doing a
You see different riders non-stop all the time.
trial.
You can look at category
trial.
6 at the moment. We've
with
got
Blitz.
Lanis and
This would be
Santos
my
at the moment leading out over one of
normal
our established
power for
riders,
half an hour.
Christoph Lasno, who's got a great sprint.
So I'm on my
Vikland's in
limit.
that mix. You know, you can go to any of the other categories and you see
feel
movement
okay.
up and down. But when you're
Right,
with
just
the
looking at the
very best
numbers.
in the world, that
This
doesn't
is a
change. Now, Santos just being pulled
WTR
back here.
Blitz.
His early move
effort.
up the road being pulled back. Lasno on the front here. Lasno can't relax too
On the
much. He's
nominal
got
power.
Vikland
The
behind him,
average
coming
power
at
is a bit
9.5 watts per kilo. Lots
Ooh.
at 6. Lasno's on the front here. He's
Tell you
trying
what,
to keep the
Vikland's going
power.
to come up and over
He
the
is.
top.
Look at that Vikland with that speed there. He goes over the top. Lasno had nothing
It's
there.
like, nope, nothing to give. That
I
is
pulled
it.
the gap back. That's it. I'm done.
Happy with second. Vikland,
Yeah.
that was a massive
Next
effort.
sprint's
We saw
at
him put a massive
27 and a
effort into
half.
sprint 1 and get second
And
place.
it's
He puts a big
relatively
effort
flat
into
for a
sprint
bit.
2 and gets first place this time, which means he picks up the green skin suit this time around. There he is. He'll be very pleased about that. So Vikland takes 5 points. Lasno takes 4. Santos takes 3 points. Lark is in the top 5 again, taking 2 points, and Gibson taking 1 point. They are up and over that triumvirate of climbs and into the second sprint of the day. The group's gone from 22 to 17.
And in contention for the sprint win, Vikland, Lasno, Summer and Lark. They're the only riders who can contest the overall win in Category 6. Category 5 are on their way in towards that same sprint banner. They're going to come around the left-hand turn for the riders. Werner Aravena leading this out. He's got no points in that sprint competition. Quick reminder, Antonin at the moment leading that competition with 5, Warren with 4, Fossier with 3, Mountier with 2, and Scretting with 1. They are the riders in contention. Warren now moving up, chasing down Aravena. Antonin, the leader in the sprints competition, coming behind him, but is he going to be able to pull him back? He's not. He's backed off the pace completely. Warren goes kicking for the line. He's going to go in, and Antonin needs to get ahead of Aravena if he's going to be tied on points with Warren. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap of a point plus between them, depending on who's in between. John Warren's going to take away the checkpoint, but what is going to happen behind? I think it's going to mean Warren's going to take away the overall lead at the moment at the end of this sprint, because Antonin is not going to go over the top of Aravena.
No, I agree with you. And what a move from Joel Warren. And he is indeed pushing on. So Warren picks up the 5 points in that Category 5 pack. And look at this. The Category 4 pack are hot on their heels. And Ryan Giuliano and Francis Pino are in the mix again. But this time, it's the other way around.
Indeed. But Pino taking those sprint points, maximum sprint points, first time around, ahead of Squilari, Goldman, Graziani and Tabares, means that Pino should be in the lead. Just waiting for the quick update here. Category 5 sprint points on your screen that we've just seen. Warren Aravena, Antonin Mate, and so confirmed.
25 riders in Category 5 in the mix.
Category 4 confirmed. Giuliano from Pino, from Andrade, then Alvarez and Goldman.
27 riders in the mix in Category 4, closing in on that leading group in Category 5.
And it's Pino with 9 points to Giuliano's 5. They are the only riders really in that mix. Squilari and Goldman, it's mathematically possible, but highly unlikely to challenge. Category 3 leader coming in was Lewis Ridley.
It was. He's been caught by Olivier Simmons. They're 6 seconds clear of Kansara and a couple of seconds clear of the group behind. But Simmons and Ridley are going to go head to head. And at the moment, Simmons is at 13.5 watts per kilo to Ridley's 9. Olivier Simmons is going to go clear here. Lewis Ridley picked up the points last time. Simmons is going to pick up the points this time. One more sprint to go.
They are tied on points. Both have taken a sprint win. Both have taken a second place. Simmons and Ridley. That's the battle. Rick Van Uyck is going to pick up the 3rd place, I think, again. That is going to give him 6 points in total, if my maths is to be believed, to the 9 points of Ridley and 9 points for Simmons. Mason Rocker also in the hunt for points there. Well, let's get those confirmed. It's Simmons, Ridley, Van Uyck, Castano and Buster who take away the points. And that means it is going to be a 2-rider race at a last sprint for the overall win, because it means Ridley will be on 9 points and Simmons will also be on 9. Oof, category 6, 5, 4 and 3 through the sprint marker. Category
Wow.
2 are on the way, and this breakaway has continued, but it is no longer a triumvirate of talent.
It's
it is a dynamic duo.
It is a dynamic duo of Puilam Lee and Matit Mendakowicz, these two riders in category 2, pushing on up over the bridge here as Mendakowicz gets up and out the saddle and punches on those pedals. Confession is back in the fold with Pardon, Cooper, Notes, Machado, Kaplinski, but they are, well, 27 seconds back. So this is a good, clear run from these two riders. And Mendakowicz pushing on at 12 watts per kilo. You can see the power going down through those pedals as Lee gives chase.
Well, Masit Mendakowicz took that points jersey in sprint 1 ahead of Puilam Lee. He's looking to maximise this, but it's going to come down to the last one. There'll be 2 points between them overall. It's going to be 10 points total for Mendakowicz, 8 points for Lee. What's happening behind? Well, at the moment, Aidan Sinclair is leading the group, but Cameron, Machado, Kaplinski, Wojciech, all pushing. They know that that line is coming, but I don't think this is the target for most of these riders now. They know that Mendakowicz is clear at the front. It's now about how much work do they do to pull back the riders in front. Machado can't help himself. He's gone for that little kick over the line. You put some riders in front of a banner and they are going to go for it.
Aidan Sinclair saying, "Oh, I'm done." But do you know what? Sinclair moving up from Cat 4 to Cat 3, from Cat 3 to Cat 2. It's been fabulous to watch that young rider's progression on the MyWhoosh platform through the championships and the Sunday Race Club. As we watched Jason Osborne go underneath the banner, 18 seconds clear of the chase group behind. Ruben Dont in the green skin suit wants the points behind. Stretching the group as well. They need to push if they want to bring Osborne back in. They're through the most technically challenging and difficult section of the course in terms of the group chasing a lone leader. Now, if they want to close this down, well, it's the time to start rolling.
It is. Now, let's get those points confirmed, first of all, in Category 2. It's Mendakowicz, Lee, Machado, Piatella, and then Colin behind. Mendakowicz and Lee, the two riders who basically are battling for that. There's a 2-point gap. Now, go to Category 1. Sorry, Emma. Category 1, you can just see Ruben Dont in the mix here. Now, Osborne has taken 5 points. If he stays clear, his points total will be 10 points overall. Ruben Dont already has 9 points. And that means it's going to be all about what he can score. The 4 points that he scores in the Sheikh Zayed Mosque sprint and the 5 points he took in the first sprint. So now for Dont, it's about staying in this group, maximise his points in the last sprint at 35k.
Well, for a number of riders in this group, it's about staying in this group because the group is stretching, because Jones is now on the front with Skierski, Pedersen, Van Elsvu, Yassin and Safra Zaidi. They're riding, and you can see the tail on the Comet behind of Category 1 riders. In fact, you can just see one of those Category 1 riders nailing it to get back into this group because at that checkpoint, there were 24 seconds. Well, that makes 8 seconds from Dont to the back of the group with a big gap at 1 point that is enabling this to happen. Well, Lyndon Milostic is the rider pushing on. Mark Smith, Hoyos, Zarozniak and Goosen are the riders on the wrong side of the break at the moment. So Milostic closing it down, making a group of 16 as the push continues off the front of this pack. And the push, well, that is trying to bring back Jason Osborne. He is already around this corner and down the road.
He is indeed. Lyndon Milostic makes the junction. He's going to have to sprint again. Milostic backing off the pressure once he got onto the wheels. The problem is he's not, but you've got to go right through the group, get to the front to give yourself the sliding room to go back through the pack to the back. If you just join at the back, you're going to be instantly in trouble the moment it accelerates. And any rest that you take will drop you off the back. So through the group to the front, use that then as your breather to come sliding through the pack if you can, to then pick it back up again.
They're bringing the gap down. It was at 18 seconds. It's now at 12. Andreas in the next 100, 4 seconds clear of Kaminsky, SS, Noren, Van Elst. They're now going to start motoring because Kaminsky wants part of this, and so does SS and Van Elst. Van Elst just shy of 11 watts per kilo. dialing this. This is not about letting 3 riders go down the road. 1 rider down the road when it's the world champion is something.
That one's
2
gonna
other
rip our
riders
legs apart.
joining.
Yeah, definitely another thing is Jason Osborne starts to work his way up to the leading group of Category 2. And he's just about to go back of that. You've got Category 3 and 4 riders in this group as well. I'm sure I've just seen a Category 6 jersey as well to be mixed in there. But Jason Osborne has cut through that like a hot knife through butter. He has sliced his way through, gone to the front, and now it's about can anybody save him there. Just a little bit of a rise at the moment. It's a few percent tactical. He's very aware of the need to push on. He was over to Jason Osborne. But this for me is going to be really, really key. Is anybody able to hitch a lift on the back of the Osborne Express? And if they are, how much damage can it do to the riders behind? At the moment, Alnion nicely put into this group. Osborne on the front continues to turn out a really 6.5 watts per kilo. He's able to drop these riders at Montgomery sprinting to get onto the wheels. This is where it's really interesting comparison. The riders chasing Osborne, they're right up in zones 5 and 6 if they're on the front of this group. Whereas Osborne sits in zone 3, zone 4. He's doing the push, but he's not at the moment on his limit. And that is the difference between the Category 1 rider and Category 3, 4 rider.
Yes, it is indeed. And just taking a look here at Category 2 pack, Cavadeva, the rider in mix here, Fournier, Santos, Bergin, Kalman, Sinclair. Do you know, we're at 31 kilometre mark. We are just over halfway in this race. But other than the Liwa climb, there's very little climbing now between here and the finish line. The packs are going to roll. They're going to roll fast. It's going to be a fast 30 kilometres to that line. And I'm looking at this at Category 2 pack and thinking, there's a huge number of riders in here who you could put a tag on for the sprint.
Yeah,
I think we have to have a podcast all around sprinting and have a number of sprinters on the show and talk about getting your sprint right on the Sunday race club.
that sounds good to me.
Does to me too. But Langvin, Camadeva, Sinclair, and Cahill on the screens at the moment. Camadeva's got company in the pancake. Always good to have some support in person as well as on screen, even if it does a little chilly with all the fans blowing.
Yeah, definitely, and a fantastic rider, good to see riders here. And you're talking about sprinters, and I think a real mix of riders on, and people like Gavin, we know got a great kick on him. But the way this is being ridden, you can take a lot of the stick out of a very good sprinter. As you see, one of those riders we've got sprinting, Milan Termerton, a rider who we have seen in great sprints. That's certainly possible.
So going on to Coach's wheel. Great job.
Yeah, great job. Gets on
This
board.
is race over.
We've seen Termerton sprint
It's
sort of
absolutely
11, 12 watts per
Fighting
kilo
He's really,
before now.
he's got so strong.
He's got a great kick, and then he's used that to get up to Osborne, and then it's just about staying in the wheels.
Guess what? Coaching works.
Look at the amount
It
of
does.
riders
It's
together.
probably the best value
You ain't
upgrade
gonna
you
be
can
able to
do for your
Track of what's
performance.
happening.
Now, Christoph Lasno at the moment needs no upgrade at this sprint. Lasno is going to come in underneath the sprint here in Category 6 at our final sprint. That is the Museum of the Future sprint to take the 5 points here. It's going to put him ahead of Vickland in terms of points. And I'll tell you something, he's going to take away the overall jersey because behind him, the points are not going to Vickland at all. Cadrion's gone through. Santos is going through. Kirk Melville, Gosselin, De Silva are going to mop up all those points, and it's going to be a case of Vickland. Early start went well, paying the price now. I think Lasno taking the win.
But it's what the other riders pushing for those points in that top 5 are banking on, the fact that the riders who go through the first sprint don't go through the last sprint first. And Kerridon and Lasno doing a phenomenal job, and Kerridon just coming past Lasno going, well done, great job, nice to see you in the jersey. Now let's work together, shall we? Follow me, we're off.
I only want to carry on because my
Santos and
numbers
Kirk.
are really
If
good
I was
today.
Kerridon and Lasno, I'd wait for Santos and Kirk
300,
because 4
nearly
riders
300
on
watts
this
for
run
46
towards the
minutes.
finish line is
They're
better
really
than
good.
2. It's a good sized gap back to Vickland.
Who's
You know,
going
And I feel
backwards,
good.
isn't he?
yeah, they're 50,
It's just a losing
53
battle.
seconds back from them. So
As soon as
they've
that
got
cut
some
one
sliding room.
catches us,
And
I'm
when
gonna
you
get
look
blown
at
out the back.
parkour, it would work It
I
would
haven't got the
work.
raw watch.
Yeah,
for
I'm going to disagree with you on that one because I
Flat
think I just
ground
keep pushing and make it hard
against
for
these
the riders
monsters.
behind. If you've taken that time, just keep pushing and make them work a little bit harder. If you've been strong enough to get the gap, make them work hard. Now, Jonas Goman has got the gap in category 4. He goes in over the sprint line. Goman had taken a 3rd place in sprint number 1. He also took 5th place in sprint number 2. He takes maximum points here. He's currently tied on points with Pino, but behind Francis Pino, I think is going to come through to take away 2nd place on his way in through over the line there in the category 4 race. So Pino is going to be top of the tree there with 13 points. Goman will be in 2nd place with 9.
Yes.
Category 5 have been through as well. Joel Warren on superb sprint form. We're in with category 3, though. This is the run for the line in 3, and you can see Lewis Ridley. He's looking to make sure this is his. You can see Simmons. Here he comes now. Remember, they've had a win in a 2nd place apiece. Ridley's gone first. Simmons is coming on the outside. Simmons goes. He waited. He sprung. He's going to take it. Nice riding by Simmons there. Ridley couldn't answer him. Olivier Simmons takes away the sprint win.
The nickname's coming back. It's Olivier Bigley Simmons.
Bigley power, Bigley performances.
Well, Jason Osborne at the moment pushing on in category 1. In category 6, that Museum of the Future sprint went to Laszlo, Caradon, Santos, Kirk and Vikland. They took the points. Osborne still got company in Cat 2 here.
Yep, category 5 points on your screen for that last sprint. So Joel Warren does what Laszlo did in category 6. He does that in category 5. Joel Warren taking away the overall sprint win. In category 4, that sprint win going to Francis Pino, taking 2nd place in the sprint. He's gone through to take away that overall prize. And in category 3, we've just seen Simmons get the better of Ridley behind. It was Kansara, Oya and Vargas. But
Category 2, can I just say, Phil Graves has just put the call out to work together because 5 Category 2 riders have gone clear with Jason Osborne. Mendakowicz, Lee, Graves, Gombert, Fournier are those 5 riders. But Mendakowicz is taking the run for the banner.
He's going to get
that sprint competition. Nice job, Masiek.
Well, let's not forget, Masiek, Mendakowicz and Puilam Lee were clear. I think Graves and Gombert have come up with Osborne rather than it being foregone clear. They've been caught back. Now, the rest of the best of the rest going through. Ruben Don adds to his prolific sprints jerseys. He's got enough to decorate a whole room with them now. 43 sprint wins overall in Category 1. Category 2, points confirmed on your screen. Mendakowicz, Lee, Graves, Gombert and Fournier, the riders going through. 5
riders clear. They're 15 seconds clear of this bunch we're looking at. This bunch has got the chase group in Category 1 as well, which tells me the chase group in Category 1 are 15 seconds behind Jason Osborne as well. Osborne picked up 5 points. Don picked up 4. Vujasin 3, Skierski 2 and Jones 1.
And that gives Ruben Don the win. 13 points to Osborne's 10. Jones on 5 points. Kaminsky and Skierski on 4 points apiece. Pedersen and Vujasin on 3 apiece.
11 riders in the chase group in Category 1. 31 riders in the chase group in Category 2. And you can see there's some Category 3 and Category 4 riders mixed in as well.
And from here, we have one little dip, and I mean probably 10 meters descent and elevation coming up before we go into our drop down to the leeward climb at 50k. So at 40k, we've got the next low point on the course. So about 4Ks at a time. There's a little bumpy little section coming up now. It could well be where the Category 1 riders leave the Category 2, 3, 4 riders. But interesting moves you see in Category 4 rider on the front here, pushing hard to make sure as they come over this bump, they're not distanced by the lead group. Category 2 playing chase as well. Cahill, Rask, Kaplinski, Langevin, Notes all working to be at the front with Walter. You can see the effort here. Jamie Cahill out of the saddle, making sure he holds the wheel. It's fracturing at the back of the group. There are riders being taken out of contention because they cannot hold the wheels here. So this is all about getting the pace high, getting the pressure on us to come screaming round the side of the Category 5 riders. I think there are Category 5 riders further up the road, though, at the moment.
Yeah, there are indeed. And interesting watching here. The riders on the front of the pack in Category 1. There's one rider going, oh, I'm a bit tired. Somebody else pick up the mantle. I do love the psychological element of this as well. Racing isn't just physical, it's also psychological as well. Cahill in that mix at the 37.4 kilometre marker. You can see where everybody else is. X100 is doing the chasing here on the front of that pack and holding Jason Osborne. It's an interesting move. It's around 12 seconds still and holding that at the 39.8 kilometre marker. So 2.2 kilometres up the road is where Vincent Keredon is, the Cat 6 rider who is at the front of the race.
Indeed. So the Frenchman leading out the start here on his way up the race route. Jason Osborne at the moment, though, he's the man that they've all got to try and beat. Can they do it? We will have to see who's going to be leading them home when they get to the end here. So definitely
it's all coming together at the front of the race.
Yep.
Well, Osborne has company, and that company is not Category 1, it's Category 2. He's got 2 Category 2 riders and 1 Category 3 rider on his wheel. And he need to put my teeth back in. He will want to drop them. They will not want to lose his wheel. They'll keep working at it, but they are indeed extending their lead over their own respective races. Category 6 at the head of the race. It's a 16-second gap back to Kirk and Laszlo. 2 riders chasing.
Indeed. Will they be able to get the gaps back down again? Can they pull it all closer together? Can they pull it all in? We will have to find out. A quick reminder, we're at 40k so far. We've got 60 kilometers total race distance. Emma, I'm going to predict Jason Osborne is going to get the front of this race fairly quickly.
Well,
I mean, I know he's not there yet, but he's getting there.
He's not there yet, and it's still 1.9k to the front of the race. I don't think it's going to be as quick as possibly you think. I think the Cat 6 riders would like to be out there a little bit longer. You can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen the Cat 6 riders and the gap. So 3 groups of Category 6 riders at the front of the race. There's still a good gap back to the chasers. So Jonas Goman, Category 4, in the mix. He's the Category 4 rider who is furthest up the road, but still take a look. 40.6 versus 41.3. There's still some way to go. Luke Allport just jumping on Goman's wheel. He wants a tow, and this is the dangerous part for the leader in Category 6 and the 2 chasers, because this could well be the start of the Category 6 pack on the road, currently sat in that 3rd group, coming back to group number 2.
Sorry, I've got my head deep in the stats on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. I'm just hunting through Vincent Kedrion's results, 22 participations in the Sunday Race Club. I thought, oh, I'll have a quick look through. It's only 22 races. 22 Sunday Race Clubs. But my goodness me, he's ridden missions, chasing Tadej. This is since October. The Tadej missions, so many crit races, hill races, the Cycling District League. I can't tell you how many races he's done. I reckon it must be about 70 or 80 races. But only 22 Sunday Race Clubs, but a prolific rider. So, you know, Kedrion on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, he's an experienced rider and racer on MyWhoosh, so he knows how the platform rides, and I think that's so important compared to the riders who are here. And they've done a lot of Sunday race clubs. It's not just that. There's a lot of other racing out there to get experience before you take the plunge and jump on the Sunday race club.
Yeah, Cudrion, Kirk, Lasno, still 21-22 seconds. And you can see that gap on that top right-hand screen. You know, he's sitting zone 3, zone 4. This is time trial pace for him. You know, he's sitting at a pace where he knows he can hold it. He's got a significant amount of racing still to go. He's still 17.5K from the finish. You know, he's got to be sitting within his capabilities and capacity because he doesn't want to blow. If the groups do come from behind, he's going to want to be able to stay in the mix. But he's, you know, fortune favours a brave rider, and at the moment, this is a brave ride.
We keep on saying we would really like to be able to hand out combativity awards. We really would, but we're not allowed to. But if we did, I think they would regularly go to riders from Category 6, and you can see at the moment we've got 13 of those on your screens, including guest on the podcast next week, Simon Llewellyn, top left-hand side, one of the real instrumental figures in the BMC racing. But Category 6, often one of our most inspirational sets of riders out there, and I'm loving some of the bakers. There's such a difference here.
Never discount how fit you need to be racing Category 6.
Absolutely
Let me tell
not.
you that. These are absolutely quality riders and racers. David Young, you can see him. We often talk about David Young. He is a really strong rider and racer, the rider from the USA. Often we think he's sat in the pack and then we see him towards the end of the race. It really is a cracker. Christian Korzanski, we tend to know more as a real climber for when the hills really get going upwards. Alex Lark is on the bottom of your screen. We went in with him early doors and we're in with him now. Nugent in the mix as well. Vickland, who we've seen putting in some phenomenal sprints earlier on, and it looks hot there. Luke Allport, the level rider in the middle of your screen, the first rider to ever have a verb named after him on the Sunday Race Club. It is indeed a phenomenal thing in itself. To Allport will make the English dictionary one day. We're trying hard.
We are, indeed. More you add it into your post, put it on social media, one day it will happen to Allport. Okay, one rider who could do with Allporting himself clear of everybody else is Jason Osborne. 20 seconds at the moment, the gap. He's not managed to shake off everybody at the moment. He's working his way through Category 2 riders, as are the rest of the Category 1 bunch going through Category 2 bunch on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see the distance. It pretty much is the most telling thing. 300 or so meters separates Osborne from the group behind. 20 seconds or so. It's not a big distance.
It is going out slightly, though. It was 12 seconds last time we were in with this gap here, and it's now 19:20, so it is going out, and Osborne continuing to tap a really strong rhythm. All kudos to the two riders who are on his wheel in the draft. The sitting in the draft of a rider ahead of you and getting the pacing right, so you're not putting in too much effort, and you stay in that draft with the 3 chevrons, absolutely key. Phil Graves, well, you know, he is one of those riders with over 200 Sunday race clubs, isn't he?
He's not just one of those riders. He has the most participations of anybody in the history of Sunday Race Club. This is his 242nd Sunday Race Club. I haven't worked out what 5 years is on the Sunday Race Club, but that's got to be a key number.
Practice makes
260.
perfect.
It'll be 260 is the number for 5 years spent. And I agree, practice makes perfect.
I disagree. Practice makes permanent.
Okay.
If you practice it wrong, you will always do it wrong. Practice doesn't always make perfect. Practice makes permanent.
Okay, nice. Nice words of wisdom from the other side of the commentary box. here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. And whilst these riders are just heading into the very last sections of this race route, let's give you a quick reminder. Course total distance, 60.1 kilometres. Coming up, we've got our draggy finish. We've got our second ascent of the leeward climb, which only does the main climb to the checkpoint before deviating off the route that it's taken so far. And before that, we've got the big drop down into that climb.
Well, I can tell you when we are getting close towards that leeward climb, that climb coming at the 50.3 kilometre marker. This is the Category 1 race at the moment. They're not at the head of the overall race, but Pavel Skierski, X100, Andreas and Dont, Safrazadi, Pedersen, they are the chase group at around 17 seconds. Jason Osborne, the world champion in the polka dots, in the mix with two riders from the Category 2 race. You can see on the other side of your screen the chase group, and you can see the distance. It is around, well, do you know, it's around 250 metres. The differential between the chase and the leader.
And the leader has spat the riders off the back of his wheel. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Jason Osborne, once really good. We were coming, there's a little bump here in the road, and there's a series of bumps until we drop down into the big descent, and Osborne just hit that and said, right, put the power down, and shakes off the rest of the riders. Left-hand side of your screen, the chase is on. X100 along with Jones and Co. At the moment, the nearest rider still sub 20 seconds, just working their way around Rudolf Bertrand, Mike Broadbent, Garcia Simiel and Matthias Cruz, the riders in the Category 6 race. Remember, Category 6 set off first, Category 1 set off last. Each group separated by 2.5 minutes on their start times. At the moment, Jason Osborne on the right-hand side of your screen, about to break the 100 mark. So only 100 riders, now 99, 98, 97, 96, 95. He's got a big group who's coming through at the moment in front of him until he gets to the very front of the race. Can he do it by the time we reach 60K? Yes. Will he do it? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Whilst you are online at the end of the show, don't forget, download the app on iOS, on Android, or on Windows. Make sure that you jump on board and get racing on MyWhoosh. We'd love to see you in action. Don't forget, if you are racing, film the last 500 meters of the race on the way through. So let's have a little bit of a look. We're diving in with our Category 2 riders. Jose Oviedo is going,
no more.
I'm done. A timeout, please. And I'm not surprised. It is a tough race here today. So at the start of the show, just because it's relatively got a relatively low meter count in terms of height, it doesn't make it any easier.
Doesn't make it easy at all.
No.
Never think that a flat race is an easy race, because it's all about being in the right place at the right time and watching all the moves, and that's what Category 2 have been doing. Giselle Betty on your screen. It looks cool, calm and considered, you know. Machado up and out of the saddle. Alan Jung is up there as well. Langevin too, looking a little cool, calm and considered, and that's an interesting one in relation to where they are.
With a sprint at the finish, yes, Langevin looking calm. It's not a good sign for everybody else, is it?
The riders in Category 2 on the top right-hand corner of the screen mixed in with a Category 1 pack, and you can see who's there. Machado is there, Langevin is there, Santos is there, Alan Jung is there. The riders who are up and out the saddle on your screen punching on those pedals as they go up and over this bridge are in the mix.
No, Nicholas.
They certainly are. Who's going to take it away? We'll have to see. And if you're loving these Pain Cave shots, don't forget we will be bringing the final 500 meter on the podcast. So if you're recording, if you are getting the camera into your Pain Cave, we want to see. We don't want to see the race screen. We want to see you in action. Now, that can be a fun one. It can be a tough one. It can be a sprint one. Send them in. Go to www.mywhooshracing.com, separate to mywhoosh.com, mywhooshracing.com. That is for the Inside the Race podcast, the independent podcast by Emma, myself, and Hayley Simmons. Hayley due to be in action at the World Grand Fondo Time Trial Championships on Thursday. So publicly going to wish you luck for that. Here on the show, she will be back in the Sunday Race Club studios though next week.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. X100 on the chase of Jason Osborne. Jason Osborne has made his way from 100th into the top 70 as he goes into 69th and soon to be 68th position as he goes through. Overtakes Florian Dromard as well. Florian, one of our regular riders on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club and in the MyWhoosh Championships as well. At the moment, still chasing the lead of Vincent Cadrion, the rider who's ahead of Laszlo and Kirk by 25 seconds in the lead of Category 6. David Young in the lead of Category 5. Rushmer in the lead of Category 4 at the moment. But these riders scattered across the terrain here. We're on the dip with Cadrion. He's on the descent down. He's gone past the roundabout. He's dipping down in towards the base of the climb, out, up, and away through the Liwa Desert Climb. This is going to be really, really telling. What can he do here when he hits the climb? Can he hold off the pursuit from Kirk and Laszlo? I would agree. And what will happen behind Reimers, Rushmer, Ungerer? It's a really big group in pursuit now of our race leader. You can see just how big it is on your screens, but I cannot see this staying together. On the climb, it will descend together. It will go across flat together. It's going to be huge.
Well, let's not forget, we've got second and third in that Category 6 race up the road as well.
Yes.
So the Category 6 riders in that group, and you know, looking for fourth and fifth. They're still looking for top 5 places as they're scattered up. But taking a look at this, we've now got Jason Osborne and the 2 riders leading in the Category 2 race. So, and that, of course, is Phil Graves and the second rider on that wheel, Pui Lam Lee. Those 2 riders in the mix now in this big group. So they've caught the Category 3 pack, and Osborne working his way through to the front. The next big group on the road, look at that, right ahead. And then it is just the 3 Category 6 riders up the road.
So all of our race leaders, all of these race leaders are in these 2 groups on your screen, with the exception of the Category 6 leaders. Basically, they're all together, with the exception of Cadrion, Kirk, and Laszlo. They're the only escapees,
so my
realistically.
Question is, if we've got 2 massive groups coming together and we've got around 60 riders in a group on the road into the Liwa climb, how much damage can a 1 kilometre climb do to a group of that size?
It's going to smash it apart.
You think?
Yeah. It's going to smash it apart. And I say that because it's 10K from the finish, pretty much. And it means, you know, the summit of this climb is at 51.4K. So you're 9K from the finish. You can put in a big, big effort on here and shed a lot of riders. I expect to see this group at the back. Look at it. It's absolutely exploding across all race categories. Van Erck is on the move. Graves is on the move. Osborne on the move. They're all looking to rip this apart, to break clear and get rid of riders. That is the mission here. You can recover as you go over the top. It's not a headwind down. There's a tiniest bit of headwind at 55K. For the rest of this, it is about just smash the group now.
Get your hammer and 10K time trial.
Yeah. Well, smash the group now, recover to 55K, and then go again.
You see, I am just not sure the climb is big enough to do that. With no, I disagree. The volume of riders in that group behind, the momentum, the draft, the pace, I just really, really question how possible it is. I am going to be so keen to watch this.
So you can just see that line of riders spread out behind. There is definite air coming in between these riders at the front of the race. Now, that does not mean it will stick, and that is the other thing to bear in mind. Shakila and Van Erck going up towards the top here, 2 riders that we know are capable of really pushing on here. Will we see some big gaps? Will Emma be proven right? Will it come back together again? Remember, we're going to take a left-hand turn. We're not going over the top of part 2 of this climb. So now it's about pushing on over the top of this section. Yes, we've gone through the checkpoint. Yes, there's prizes being awarded, but the key thing here is for that overall race now. The front of the race are continuing to push. The back of the race are at 6s and 7s. It has not got huge air in between. There's a big group at the very back that has been distanced. There's 1 or 2 riders further back. also going, and it's coming apart. Category 2 particularly seems to have been split apart on this ascent here. But you can see it's a long train of riders here coming up and over to take that left-hand turn.
Yes, and I think this gives benefit and advantage to riders elsewhere in the pack. So the Category 1 riders who are doing the chasing all of a sudden have got a massive amount of draft in front of them now and a really good way to work their way through. I think this is going to be really interesting. Let's run our way through the Liwa climb and the climb overall. In Category 6, it was Cruz, Kerdrion, Lasno, Kirk and Lark. It actually wasn't Cruz. It was Kerdrion who took the 5 points. Lasno, Kirk, Lark and Hajacek. Cruz, I think, has taken a wrong turn.
Summer, Lasno, Kerdrion, all tied on 5 points at the top of the standings in the climbs competition in Category 6.
1s and 2s all over the road in Category 6.
Category 5, Nurovny taking the maximum points in Category 5. That pushes him on to 5 points. He's tied with Warren, but it's Maxime Favero who will take away the climbs competition in Category 5.
24 riders in that leading group in Category 5 at that point on the road.
Category 4, Rasmus Hammer taking maximum points, 10 points. 2 wins for Hammer gives him the overall win in Category 4. The Category 3 race, also a similar position. 2 wins for Michael Cahill. He goes clear at the top ahead of Simmons and Van Erck in Category 3.
I do indeed. And in Category 2, it was Phil Graves going through ahead of Lee, Halle, Notes and Langeveen. The groups, well, it's going to be really interesting. We've got Lee and Graves on the wheel of Osborne with Van Erck at the moment at the front. Osborne picking up the 5 points. Andreas and Vujak and Saturday Pedersen in Category 1 picking up those points.
In Category 2 overall, Halle taking 8 points. Lee tied on 8 points as well. In Category 1 in that line competition, Osborne taking the win with those perfect 2 wins.
Oh, and an interesting move here from Bjorn Andreasen, working his way through the riders in the other race categories and out the other side. Vujasin is chasing him as well, because now the only thing separating Vujasin and Andreasen from Jason Osborne's wheel are the 3 riders who went with Osborne. They're 19 seconds down the road. This is a long run now to the finish line. It is going to be a really interesting 6.5 kilometres to that finish line today. It's a 20-second gap at the moment, and Vujasin is now leading the charge.
So Carolina Vujasin bringing this back for himself into the finish. The gap is in front of him. They know what they need to do, but this front of the race, it has shattered the groups into a number of packs of riders on the road towards our finish. It has made selections. Has it made enough of a selection? It's certainly taken a lot of riders out on 10, because at this stage, you've got a lot of work to bring this back. Walter Clay's on your screen in the right place at the right time. No surprises there from the experienced Clay. All you got to do, Walter, is flip the wheel. Come on, how can it be? Absolutely brutal is how hard it is. We know Walter has got a great kick on a great finish, but will it be enough today? You've still got competition in pretty much all these categories, 2, 3, 4, as well as Category 1, 4, the top 10 positions. It's just about holding these positions. Hammer Friedrich
in there as well.
Yes, he's doing a great job. Look at the number of Category 3 riders that stayed at the front of this group here. They've really got work to do. But I think there's still a Category 3 rider.
Yeah, but I think they had a different race. Category 2, the racing has been so hard for so long in that final 10K. Category 3 had a very different type of race, and now Category 1 is pushing on. Phil Graves on the front of the race at the moment with Jason Osborne.
And it's Rick Van Erck.
I was
just doing a check. Van Erck has got. You can see Van Erck approaching that archway. The attack by Van Erck on the climb, and then pushing over the top. It's where you can really make that difference. You attack, you go hard on the climb. You've got the strength to push over the top. You make so much distance. He's done that, and it's the rest of the Category 3 have been chasing to pull it back. He's pulled clear a number of riders across categories, including Category 1.
Yeah, but this is the challenge here, and this is all about dynamics, and this is going to be so interesting to watch. We're at the 55.5 kilometre mark. The finish line is at 60.1. The gap is coming down. It's coming down slowly, but it is coming down. At the moment, Van Erck is going back. I think the pace has come off the chase group because they've seen that Rick Van Erck is coming back. It's now 9 seconds. Graves, Osborne and Lee continuing to tap a rhythm and working together on the front of the race. Those 3 riders, the leading Category 2 and the leading Category 1. The leading Category 3 is here with Van Erck. He's hovering 10 seconds ahead of the chase group. I think the chase group, the pace has now come out.
It has, and I think this is about commitment now. If I can keep holding this, it's a really big ask, but he's sitting on a time trial pace. The K's are ticking away. He's got less than 4K. Let's go to that finish now for Van Erck. 4K. That's going to be 16 laps of the track if you're on a velodrome to get there. If you're counting in velodrome laps, it's a long way to go. I know how much it hurts, but you know what? It is a doable solo distance. If you get the route of the green, if you get it, the right run and sit behind, they're having to work. They're expending energy to pull him back. There are plenty of riders prepared to do that. Gostek leading the charge at the moment in the pursuit of Van Erck. Behind him, you can see the pressures come on. Simmons in the green skin suit also moving up to try and pull the gap back down. So he's free. Right a little bit in person on our screens, the top right hand of our cameras in on the pain cave. But this is all about how much energy is being burned. How much energy are these riders expending? Van Erck now back on your screens in avatar form and on the bottom left hand pain cave count.
3.1K. So go for Rick Van Aert. The gap now at 12 seconds.
He's a quarter of the race distance to that finish that we talked about. It was at 4K, now 3K. He's got Osborne, Lee and Grace in front of him. And I tell you what would be really frustrating me, there are passengers behind the chase, the lead chasers. Leading chasers are pushing, but there's plenty of people sitting in the wheels waiting for moves from Category 1, which is what we're seeing. And then they're coming, but Shueki has been waiting. He goes with this chase in Category 1 rather than expending the energy on the chase. And it's yo-yoing up and down the pace.
Let's not forget there are 12 riders in Category 1 in that group. There's one winner out front, and that is Jason Osborne. He's still clear around 25 seconds from Bjorn Andersen. The gap is about the same as it was at the top of the league. We'll climb to the group, but those 12 riders are going to want to shake this out because 12 does not fit into the 2 podium places that are left. Someone's going to want second place, someone's going to want third place, and not all of them want to come down to a sprint. So Jason Osborne out clear, Andreasen, Sierski, they are all now starting to wind this up. Ollie Jones now starting to pay close attention because if it does come to a sprint, Jones has got phenomenal timing and a great kick. He's going to want to be there, but the others will want to be clear of Jones and drop him before the finish. But the kilometres are ticking down fast at this speed. They're rolling just shy. Well, now they're rolling at 50 kilometres an hour.
They're rolling at 50k now. They're rolling up towards Rick Van Aert, who is in front. Mid-8 to 100, Bjorn Andreasen, Lionel Vajassin. There are 3 riders on your screen in that order, front to back. And at the moment, this pace is bringing them onto Will Van Aert. The question is anybody in Category 3 on with them? The answer is going to be yes, but they're holding on the grip behind because they know that they've got to try and hold the wheels. And I think the Category 1 gaps have gone. I think there's everything between Category 1 and the chasers behind. This will now be to the advantage of Van Aert because Van Aert has got Category 1 coming. He can now latch on, but we're at 58.7k. We've got to reach 60.1k. The 3 leaders are clear. That's Osborne in Category 1, Grace Lee in Category 2. The Category 3 leader is Van Aert on the left-hand side of your screen in blue. And after having seen his lead eroded because of the chase in Category 3, he now has got a move that he can make. He can play the Uno reverse it card at the moment and turn this around by jumping in with Category 1 and now take advantage of the draft himself as Osborne can see the finish line.
He can do indeed. It's a long run to the finish line. The finish line is sighted in advance today on this long straight. And Jason Osborne looks up and you can see the UCI banner, the world champion in the polka dots, leading Category 1. But Phil Graves is going to sprint Wheel Lee for the win in Category 2. Graves goes through in the helmet. He's going to take the win in Category 2 today. Lee is going to come through in second place. Jason Osborne in the polka dots, the world champion, will take the win in Category 1 today. And there's a fast finish coming in from behind him. Bjorn Andreasen is leading this out from Ruben. He's coming in really fast from behind, and Jones is going to be in the mix as well. Where is Jones? Jones is coming. Skisky's there. Skisky's leading this out. Jones, can he make it to the line? No, he can't. Hal Skisky's going to come through for second place today. Ollie Jones, Lionel Vujassin, they are all in the mix, and so is Ruben Dont. That was a fast finish for second, third, fourth, and fifth in the Category 1 race. Great sprinting.
Amazing sprinting. And we've got Category 4 and Category 3 as well as Category 2 and 1 through the finish as well. We'll be bringing you all of those in a moment. So we're not diving into them just yet. Jason Osborne 1 hour, 80 minutes, 48.804 seconds to come through. Jason Osborne taking his 75th win in 155 participations on MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club ahead of Pavel Skisky, who out-sprinted super sprinter Ollie Jones. That's not something you get to say every day. But Jason, after all that work comes in with Jones immediately on his wheel. Great teamwork there. A little bit further back, you can see Phil Graves, currently the 40 fastest right over the line, coming in ahead of Lee, Nico Lang, Party Cooper, Kilhurst, and Collision. But that was all about Graves and Lee Osborne trio on the front, and really does show that if you get the time right, you can make a difference by where you are in the race and who comes in through to the finishes. So some great racing and riding across all of our race categories here today. Let's talk general racing, Emma, before we dive into each category here. In terms of the race overall, we thought that would be a big sprint at the end. We thought groups would come together. Where they came together, though, was critical. And we saw that play out for individuals like Rick Van Aert in the finale. But we also saw like in terms of big groups as well.
Yeah, we did indeed. And it really was about, you know, that the final 20 kilometers of this race. Yes, there was that leeward climb, but it's just a 1 kilometer climb. The rest of that 20 kilometers, 19 of it, pretty much flatlands with a favorable wind direction as well. And it just meant that when those two big groups came together before that leeward climb, that they weren't really going to split. The riders did go off the front, a very small group. It was a long stretch, and then the groups reformed, maybe not in its entirety, but they reformed out there. And then we saw some really different types of racing, but it really was about the dynamics and how it all came together, how it all came apart, and then where and how it reformed.
23.
Okay, I think we need to look at this because I maybe have a different interpretation of the effect of that last climb than you have. And let's have a look when we go through here. We'll bear that in mind as well. Let's run through from category 6 first of all. Christoph Laszlo, we saw in that sprint competition really working hard in that. He takes the overall win as well. You can see coming into that finish, he broke away in the end from Ben Kirk. He had that gap a lot. Kazansky and Co coming in behind. Luke Allport inside the top 10 there as well. Some good riding today in that race.
I didn't want to maybe just
paying the price for that early breakaway.
Yeah, and that huge great push he put in, you know, that big breakaway, the long solo work, and it was a great effort, and it was.
Yeah, I didn't want to kill myself. Not that it was easy. But it just didn't seem. I don't know. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to kill myself on the race. I mean, I don't really care about the prize money. There's a bit of pride. You got to let go of that when you decide to bail out the back of a peloton. But that's okay. I know what I want to do. I did 1 hour at 300 watts, and I was still able to sit up for a little bit, collect a few riders, and then push on and finish feeling good. You know, I went with about 800 meters left, and sustained watts is better than a flat out sprint sometimes. So instead of going crazy and trying to hit like 1,000 watts for a sprint, just holding, you know, 7 to 8 watts a kilo is enough to it's enough to keep you out the front, you know. I knew it was a slight uphill finish as well, so the one thing I'm concerned about today, actually, and I won't know until later, or probably Tuesday, my dual recording seemed low on my Assiomas. Normally they match up within a watt, so I don't know what that's all about. I can't do nothing about it. I'll upload my duals. I've got in the habit though of pushing start on my head unit a minute before the race, so maybe that was why. Like I say, there's nothing you can do about it. It's up to MyWhoosh to check my data and validate it. I just connect everything and see what it's like. Hopefully it's all right. I've never had a problem before. We'll see. Right, where are we at? There are like so many apps open. Yes. pointless on the time trial bike, isn't it? You'll just jump on with. So there we go. Ruse, how you doing? Thanks for the thank you for the follow. Just cooling down really from finishing SRC. I'm just checking my dual recordings. They didn't look right on my head unit, but you never know. Yeah, I know what I did really well. I took a decision after 60 minutes to drop out the back, which was fair enough. Uh, I felt really good, and I didn't want to go that deep today. But once I dropped out, I had a few minutes rest, and a few riders collected me up. We worked as a group, caught a few more riders. I think I finished 16th. So I mean, that's not bad to be fair. I think it's a lot easier to push when nobody's competing for prize money though, because a few guys just stopped trying, and yeah, it's a pretty brutal. Uh, it's a pretty brutal event to be fair. So it's just with finishes is something. I've got a funny feeling something's not right. Let me have a look. Yeah. Oh no, you know what? It's not too bad. It's out, but it's not. I don't think I'll get disqualified. Like I've had cleaner dual recordings than this, but let me offset it. Needs to be offset by minus 10 seconds. Nope, not 20. Let me get these numbers right. Maybe it looks worse than it is, but it's alright. It's alright. And then I'll close that at 5085. I do, and then see what. Oh, so the average power is it is, yeah, it's 4% out. So something's not right with my dual recording. It's all right up until about 20 minutes, and then it gets a bit weird. Let's see what MyWhoosh say. It's 3.8% out over 60 minutes. I've never had many times when that's been out that much. Not with my KICKR versus my pedals. Hey man, I just did the SRC. Mm, two perfect dual recordings on Thursday, and I haven't changed anything. Although the temperature's dropped, hasn't it? It's morning. It's not evening. I'm about 4 degrees cooler in my room. Yeah, I got on all right. I always felt good. I just got to 60 minutes and decided to stop. You know, I thought that was sensible. I didn't want to kill myself and go too deep today. Didn't seem worth it. I was happy with that decision, actually. I think I pulled off. I'll have to look back at the replay, but I pulled off after 60 minutes on purpose and just rolled until I got caught. And then I just worked with those two guys until we caught a few others. And we just kept mopping up riders. I think we probably caught 6 or 7 riders. And I just felt really good all the way through. I decided to stop trying to win that race or finish in the top few and keep within my limits. Occasionally I'll push myself, but the hardest race I do. I wonder what. It's definitely the worst dual recording I've ever done on MyWhoosh. I mean, forgetting all, everyone gets disqualified at some point. So I'm not that bothered. It's just annoying because you don't know why. Um, yeah, you don't know why that happened. But 4% or 3.8% is not the end of the world, is it? Well, I think I'm on 52 followers now on Twitch. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. There's a ride coming up today as well on Zwift. Just have a look at it. I'll be back on. I'm going to get some food, and I think it's at like maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. It's a ride for Fifine. Very popular today, that one is. 60-minute ride. I'll get the time for you. It's a ride for Finn. So you definitely jump on that. Very popular. Over 200 people signed up so far. It's at 16:45. So it's in about 4 hours. It's called Ride for Finn. Yeah, WCC Ride for Finn. Very sad. Right, I'm gonna send this dual recording to my team and see what they reckon. Nothing I can do about it, but it's really annoying. Facebook. So we're back to this stupid TT bike where I don't want to be on this bike anymore. I don't want to be on the bike, but might as well sit on it and just do this soft pedaling stuff to clock up the timer. There's no incentive at all to push yourself on the TT bikes. Chat. Right, I'm going to log out, get some food. I'll be back in 4 hours for that ride for Finn. Hopefully, a few of you make it on there. As I say, over 200 people signed up already. So 16:45 UK time, and 60 minutes. What we got going on? Don't think there's any Zwifters on. No. Right, I'm a bit hungry, man. I gotta go.